Hi guys, it's Ichis here. So this time I'm going to cover the free premium Hong Kong WGP Spring round 1. So we have a very interesting matchup, which is Dantarian versus Vanquisher. So both decks are kind of old, and you can see here sometimes I will just skip some of the parts when you shuffle or when there's a very long time of thinking, because usually free premium matches are longer than what we have for the standard, because we evolve more cards, more skills, and the players right here, you can see them using something older and they might not know every single skills sometimes. So yeah, we will skip from here and there. And at the start, I don't think there's very important stuff that's happening, but you can see there's a killer tail ready, and now getting to an emblem master, getting basically just a very good start for a Dantarian player, because he can just get all 3 killer tail into the soul and starting to just fill in more souls. And you can see the skip here right again, and he's using killer tail skill, and now he can basically just counter charge and withstand that. And now he's targeting yet another grade 1, which is Deflect Suite. So it's a kind of a grade 2 card, but it's originally a grade 1, and when attack boost hits, you also have 5 or more cards, kind of plus 1 and drawing cards, so you can fill up yours so even faster while drawing more cards. And she can be used for guarding when you have a Dantarian. Using a defensive. And now get into the plasma dragon, the eradicators. It's called plasma Cardfight Dragon. So you can actually bind the front row and pick a back row, pull it back up, and then get a draw one, which is very nice because he just pulled the killer tail out, so you can just basically put all your forces to attack it, and because it's a 4th copy, it's gone, then basically just over for killer tail. So the Dantarian player do have a good start, but I don't think he has a good matchup, because Dantarian requires like do have some regards stay on the field, so can be used as a shield or even just attack you, while you can choose to use Protect 2 instead to pump your shield value and attack on your regards. But Vanquisher is just going to destroy that because he's binding all the front rows, and also even pulling up your booster out to front so they can be gone too. And he's trying to do some aggressive play for the Narukami player, playing all 3 lines, because you are not Vanquisher yet, so basically the other regards aren't having much effectiveness right here, but just try to push. And he is actually attacking the killer tail. If the Dantarian player actually guard for this attack, the other 2 likely going to swing at that as well, and he chooses to let it go. Take another damage. I think it's the Heal Guardian. And I think he's taking another one, yes. So now getting into Dantarian, and he's actually start to do a lot more stuff right here, and he chooses to do Protect 1, which is understandable because where you place, basically those regards will just be binded. So he basically fill up his board with a number of Terra, and also put the Heal Guardian at the back. Do note that the Heal Guardian is indeed a grade 3, so you can, when you soul in her with like your number of Terra, you can still activate Dantarian skill to pump 3 of the regards for 5k. And he's thinking if he wants to drop down the crit or not, and he did. Yep, so number of Terra, put the Great Heal Guardian into Soul, draw 2 first, and use Dantarian skill, plus another 5k to 3 cards. So this is yet another good example that kind of fully utilize the Heal Guardians. The Heal Guardian can be your defensive, and in this deck can also be offensive. Especially when you have no counterblast at all, no damage at all, and you need counterblast, so you can actually create shield 1. Yet another draw trigger, so even more draw power. Yep, and a great one also help to draw another one. So imagine if he's actually facing a non-Narukami deck, he can actually has a lot of cards in hand, and even stay a little bit longer. And you can see he's using a number of Terra to put another number of Terra into Soul to even pump the board more. But more importantly is to put number of Terra into the Soul, because when you use number of Terra to guard, if you have 10 more souls, you can still get the shield value, which is very important for Dantarian because you can actually guard from Soul. So here comes the actual Vanquisher turn. So far he can use the Vanquisher skill to bind one, but cannot do the other part. And then there's 3 front row that can basically just bind 3 more cards if he wants to. Also try to have him draw. So he's going with Vanquisher first, which we for now we don't know if he has a full frontal in hand. Seems not, but he baited a 15k shield. Okay, break with skill, pulling another booster out. That's the second card being bind in this turn. And he's thinking if he's the Dantarian player thinking if he wants to actually guard from Soul. So 17 on the right, and I think it's 22 on the left. Take another one, get a defensive, and now get into Soul, draw 1 because there's no front row regard for Dantarian side. Okay, so the grade 2 using skill, draw 1 and bind another 1 card. And he actually bind a Chatura. Yep, so that's total 3 guys being bind already, so Vanquisher skill get into active front row gets 10k, which makes Chatura basically a 33k grade beater. So this is actually again a quite interesting matchup. A Dantarian deck trying to pretend to be a force deck, and Vanquisher just trying to poke, but facing a protect clan. So the like 5k plus 10k plus power gap between 12k's still going to hurt the Dantarian player. So he's still trying to handle the right side attack. So playing a Dantarian deck, you always need to think. And okay, here comes a Ambient Master Guard. US 10k. And here comes the rock climb attack. It's now 32k. And he actually used the Dark Soul Contactor to guard. And rock climb. Okay, he got a full frontal, so now he can actually ride on top of it and just get another exile marker. So far, I don't think he can buy more cards from hand. So he actually get to attack with Vanguard again with more draw checks. Basically one, but still getting more cards in hand. And the Dantarian player do have a defensive trigger, so if we drop a 15k, it's basically full guard. But still not easy. And here comes the 15k. And check, there's a crit, which means the Chatura is now 43. It's lucky that he get a defensive trigger early. If he doesn't, this attack is going to take like 25k shield off him. Or even more. Actually even more. So yeah. So he is picking what he wants to guard. Number of Terra and a Heal Guardian. So pass turn and get back to Dantarian player's turn right now. So let's see what plays he can actually do. So at least right again to get another program marker, at least a hand that he can use to no matter protect himself or even just drop it out. Succubus trying to search a grade 3, but I mean he's trying to fin his deck actually, not to keeping that Dantarian, because even if you keep, it's just going to get you another protect marker and one soul, not going to help you too much right now. So here comes the Sonic Abductor. This is a good card for this deck because you can choose up to 3 cards with the same name, put 2 in soul, put 1 in hand. So this gives you to soul in whatever you need as a shield value for Dantarian. That's double Emblem Master. So that's 2 in. So he's putting effect 2 times to the same units. And here comes another Abductor. Let's see what is going to soul in this time. But do remember you need to discard 1 card to do that, so you can see his hand is actually quite thin. Okay, that's 2. I think there's 1 more Dark Soul Conductor is going to come up and replace the adapter at the left. So here comes another power pump. And of course Succubus can also get 5k, but doesn't matter too much right here. So attacking with Vanguard, that's a 12, 7, 19 plus another 10, probably 29. And they are calculating the power right now, but I think the counters on the board won't change. So Vanguard should be hitting 29. And his hand is only 2 cards, which is very, very thin right here. But his soul is actually quite thick, so that might actually help him survive for another turn. 34 on the left side with Dark Conductor. And we are checking the Abductor. 53 ST declared. So both regard side are actually quite big, but you only attack for 3 times, so you do need to use the max effects on those. So it's a 52 for full guard. Here comes a crit to Abductor, and the 10k to Dark Soul. Second check of nothing. So this one is the attack with crit, trying to bait some good guards from hand because it's fatal. It's actually 52 probably. 52. So baited APG, which is nice because you don't want your opponents to keep so many APGs in hand because you only got 3 attacks. And 44 attacking Vanguard, and yeah, that's hit, putting him to 5 damage, but it's not actually the pressure right now because Vanquisher player right another Vanquisher, getting yet another the third XL marker, so he can actually do a lot of small pokes while Dantarian player only have like 3 to 4 cards in hand. He do have a lot of souls, but you can't just use them auto guard. So let's see how many small pokes or even become big pokes that can actually happen, or if a full frontal is also coming back into play yet again. So Vanquisher skill, binding Dark Soul and binding a hand each. So that's already fulfill the 3 binds in total. So binded it protects, and yet here another Chaktura coming out. A good 33k attacker you put on XL circle. Yep, put on the XL circle and put a Grievous Gesture in front. Interesting. He might not have a lot of attackers, so here comes the grade 2 and Rock Climb again. So same with Vanquisher, I think he's trying to find yet another full Bronto. Because if he can actually get that, he can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attack at least. And Dantarian side can only take 1 damage. Okay, so he put down a PG probably just to be safe. He goes to drive check, nothing into nothing. So he only have 1 card in hand with a lot of cards in soul. 33k attack. He will not want this to hit because this will get the Vanquisher player to draw an extra card. So he goes a massive guard. And the third attack, Grievous Gesture for 23k, so baiting a 15k shield. So he's looking for his soul again. But you do need to think a lot because there's so many attacks right there. And they basically all hit key numbers. At least more than 22k. So after a long think, let's see what he got. He's taking a card from Soul. He's thinking. Okay, so he take it instead again at defensive. And here comes the greatest skill again. Okay, so he's looking what resources have in soul, and let's see what he finds. Probably not a full Bronto, because if it is, he probably will just do it very quickly. So he binded a draw trigger instead. The lowest shield value card we can have. So you can say another Emblem Master card. And yet the grade 2 skill again. And I think he just top decked it. He just top decked it through Bronto. Again at the XL circle. But the power won't change because you run into full Bronto, it's just basically replacing the Vanquisher percentage skill. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks being done. Oh, well, the 5th attack is still going on. And probably moving into the 6th attack. Yep, Vanguard attack again. And still hit. Here comes a 15 issue, I think. Full guard. Feeding the deck back up. There's a 24k. Little poke. But still matters. Okay, so the Great Vanguard. And finally pass turn. So back to his turn, and he drew into a Heal Guardian instead. So what he left is a crit and a heal. So basically there's nothing more he can do. He can't soul charge more cards to pump power. Both cards left in hand is like not helping him. So that's actually timeout here, so we are counting 0, 1, and 2. But I have to say, in this situation, even when time is up, when we're starting to count this, but we think the match is actually going to be ending very soon. Because the Dantarian player only have 2 triggers in hand, both 5 damage, and basically if the Vanquisher player got all of the attacks, he will just win. Because that, not like Overdress, we don't have over triggers to turn the table around to stay like it for another turn. So only a 15k attack, quite easy to guard. And swinging for 23k, so it's guarded. So that's basically over. But it's always good to see some old cards getting back into action. And well, no matter how the new support is helping them or not, it's at least people can take their old decks out to have fun, which is one of the thing we always want to see in big events. Yeah. So that's basically it for this match, and of course we do have more matches coming out. I'm also uploading the standard one, so you will see both uploading by me in a different time. So do stay tuned for that, and I hope you enjoy this match, and just again stay tuned for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Signing off.